Hey y'all, in here. Let me turn this up a little bit. Mm, All right. Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome to Meditations for Persistence. Hold on just a second. Things are not working right on my computer. All right. Hey y'all, thanks for joining. I see somebody's here already. If you can leave a comment and say hey. If not, that's okay too. All right. So, hey y'all, Cecile here. Welcome to Meditations for Persistence. I am streaming live from the unceded lands of the Kicatan here in Virginia. Um, for those of you in Meditations for Persistence who are in the group, it's great to have you. And for those of you who might be joining me because I'm streaming on LinkedIn or YouTube, welcome. And I'm extending you an invitation to join the Facebook group Meditations for Persistence. If you are watching on LinkedIn, give me a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe and then click that button, the little bell, so that you get a notification the next time I go live. Here in Meditations for Persistence, we are a group of activists, people learning how to be activists, and people who are just concerned with human rights. Our members understand that who we are at home, in our jobs, with our friends, in politics, with our spirituality, all of those things don't need to be separate because we are all of those things in one body. And they shouldn't be separate because when we start separating parts of ourselves, that's when we stop living in alignment and compromise our values. And I want to invite you, if you are someone who speaks up when you hear about injustice and you want to make equity in a habit so that you live in a way that challenges the systems of oppression, so that your daily interactions and the way you move in the organizations that you're part of make people see inequality and also give people space and permission to think differently, then I invite you to check out somebody's Facebook user says, "Hey, Cecile, I don't know who that is, but hey." Then I'm inviting you to check out my online membership. It's called Inspired by Indigo. And we follow 4 pillars every month that help people make equity a habit. And the first one is self care. That is how we get in our bodies, that is how we create the capacity to do everything else because healing is a form of protest. The second step is to know your facts, to undo myths and lies. And if you have been looking for facts and you know that this is time consuming to find the facts, if you are part of Inspired by Indigo, then you don't have to look for them because I do the research and provide the facts for you the second week of every month. All right. And then the third step is to undo the work. You take that self-care that you learned how to do, you take those new facts that you learned, and then you go out in the world and you undo what you've learned and lived about race, oppression, and equality. And then the last pillar is to rest and rejoice. That way you avoid burnout and disillusionment. So I'm inviting you to join Inspired by Indigo, and you can find it at cecilearmstrong.com. You don't have to do the slash blog, but I do write a blog, and I post every Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning, so you can check out my blog, and you can also find Inspired by Indigo, the membership, on that site. So tonight, I have a couple of things I want to talk about. One is what I'm writing about for the blog on Wednesday about President Biden pardoning simple felonies for simple weed possession. You know, when I heard that, I was excited and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome, which it is. And I also had the thought, I wonder if anybody ever gets convicted, gets a felony conviction just for possession, or is that like a add-on crime? And so at first I was like super excited. And then I found out that of the 6,000 and some people who have been convicted of felony possession of marijuana, um, That's for all of them, that is not their only offense that they've been convicted of, so nobody's getting out of jail behind this. However, it's still a good thing. It's still a step in the right direction, and for all the people who've been convicted before, and this is like a barrier to, like, housing or education or, getting work, this is one thing that can come off their record. And the other thing that he did with this is urge governors to do the same thing so that people can be pardoned and cleared at the state level. And he said that nobody should be in jail for simple possession at the local, state, or federal level. So I do think this is a step in the right direction. And nobody's getting out of federal prison because of this action. So anyway, I'm writing about that for Wednesday and also including a little bit of history about why weed is even illegal in the United States. And so, if you're interested in that, then look here, cecilearmstrong.com/blog. You can also sign up so that it'll come to your mailbox first thing Wednesday mornings. The other thing that I want to talk about, and I'm looking on my phone for this, is I don't know if you've ever heard of Alec. I don't know how to say his last name. Karakatsanis. He's at Equality Alec, ALEC, on Twitter. And he posted today about this poll about public opinion on police budgets. And it just came out. He is amazing for pointing out how the media misrepresents things. And so Loyola Marymount University, just published this poll about how people feel about public spending on police funding. And it says that 63% of conservatives, 68% of moderates, and 76% of liberals support, quote, reallocating parts of LAPD's budgets to social workers, mental health care, and other social services. So, all these people out here who are saying that people don't want to defund the police, this right here says that 63% of conservatives agree with 76% of liberals and 68% of moderates that they want to reallocate parts of LAPD's budget to go to social workers, mental health care, and social services. Y'all, that's what defund the police means. Okay? That means everybody's in agreement that they want to defund the police. They want to move the resources from things that punish and hurt people to things that are going to help people and prevent people from getting in the situations where police need to be called in the first place. Now, another question that they had on there was, do you want to defund the police? Now, when they phrased it that way, 69% of the people said no. But they had just said that they wanted to reallocate funds from the police budget to social services. That's defunding the police. So I think people just misunderstand what it means. And the LA Times, when they reported this, they didn't talk about the people who said they wanted to reallocate the money from the police to social services. What they focused on was that one question where 69% of people said that they were strongly or somewhat opposed to the idea of defunding the police. So even though these reporters had the full study and they know that defund the police and moving money from the police to social services are the same thing. They looked at that one question and that's what they're going to hype. And then people are going to think that 69% of people are against reallocating money from the police department to social services, when in reality, the majority of the people are in favor of reallocating money from the police to social services. Now, the media does not do a good job of telling facts and helping people think critically. And we know this. And this right here is just an example of a newspaper um, hyping whatever is like cool and trendy for the moment instead of focusing on the facts and telling the truth. Because they could have said 69% of people said they didn't want to defund the police and talked about the other things, about how at least 63% of conservatives and even more of moderates and liberals say that they want to reallocate funds and then explain that that is the exact same thing and people must not understand the question. But what they did was take the one thing, that one question about defunding the police, and make it seem like everybody's against it when that's not the truth. So anyway, he did this Twitter thread about that. His name again is Alec, ALEC. He's at Equality Alec on Twitter. And anyway, if you're on Twitter, I highly recommend that you read it and follow him because he has a lot of good stuff. Um, and I want to point out something else about this poll too, because this was worth highlighting. Support for reallocating the police budget to social service is even higher among, quote, people who live with a cop than it is with people who don't. So people who live with a police officer, someone who works for the police department, are more likely to say that they support reallocating money from police to social services, basically defunding the police. Now, if the people who live with cops are more likely to say that we need to shift those funds, I think that even shows even more that defund the police is the right thing. People might not like the way the words sound, defund the police, but that's exactly what you're advocating for if you're saying that you want to shift funds from police departments to social services where they're going to do more good because people will be less likely to get hurt and they'll actually get preventative services to avoid having to deal with the cops. Ooh, hold on. Anyway, like I said, his name is at Equality Alec, ALEC. I highly recommend that you follow him. Um, anyway, I'm trying to see if there was something else in this that I wanted to point out. Mm, no, he was basically talking about the disservice that the newspapers are doing by not not explaining everything. And he said a few points to notice is that the popularity of certain ideas depends on number one, how polls ask a question. And that's obvious because if you say, do you want to defund the police? And 69% of the people say no. And then you say, do you want to reallocate money from the police to social services? And you have at least 60%, 63% of any group saying yes. Then obviously the way you phrase the question and the words you use matter. Um, Number two, it depends on what facts people are given before they answer. And then number three, it depends on which aspects of a poll the media chooses to report. And the fact that the LA Times chose to highlight that one question instead of explaining everything just proves that you can't rely on the media to get all of your facts. And as much as possible, we need to either be doing our own research and reading these surveys or looking to people who are willing to do the work and explain it to us. And Alec is one of those people. All right. So I just hopped on here and just started talking because I was like super hyped about this. And I didn't even stop to take a breath. So I'm going to invite you all right now to take a breath with me because I need to get in my body. All right. So let's sit up straight. Ooh, head over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. Notice if you're carrying any tension in your jaw. If your shoulders are up around your ears, drop them down. Let your belly hang out. And then take a deep breath. And exhale when you're ready. And I didn't get a good deep breath, so I want to do that again. Let's take a deep breath in. And exhale when you're ready. All right. So, do y'all have anything that y'all want to talk about before we get to the meditation? I'm going to pause for a minute and give people a chance. I see there's a few people on live. So, if there's anything that came up for you this week that you would like to talk about, go ahead and post it in the chat. And if there's not, that's okay. I'm just going to wait a minute and see what comes up. And if nobody has anything, then we can move on to something else. And so tonight we've already talked about Joe Biden pardoning people with who had felony charges for simple weed possession, and we talked about the LA Times not giving the full scope of the survey about shifting funds from the police to social services, and about that shocking number that even 63% of conservatives want to defund the police and move money over to social services, but only not when you call it defunding the police. Mhm. Okay, I don't see anything coming up. So, if you guys are ready to do a meditation, then I will go ahead and get started with that. Let me adjust my seat. And I haven't picked out what kind of meditation I'm going to do tonight. So this is like off the cuff. What do I want to do? All right. I'm hearing grounding. Is that good with y'all? Y'all want to do a grounding meditation? Do something that pulls us in our body? All right. So I am inviting you to get into a comfortable position, whether it's laying down, laying back. If you're sitting up, keep sit up straight. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Again, relax your jaw like we just did. Bring your shoulders down from your ears. Relax your tummy. Take a deep breath in and exhale when you're ready. Let's take one more deep breath and exhale. Now continue to breathe through your belly. You don't have to breathe deeply, just breathe at whatever pace is normal for you. And I want you to focus on your exhale. And so with every exhale, I want you to breathe out whatever is not in your highest good. Exhale whatever is weighing you down. Exhale negative thoughts, things that are blocking you. Exhale anything that is in your way. And be noisy with it. And know that with every exhale, where you are actually expelling anything that would hold you down, anything that's in your way, anything that's not in your highest good, every time you exhale that, you're making room for something better. So continue to exhale and continue to intentionally breathe out whatever is not in your highest good. Whether that's negative self-talk, whether it's self-doubt, whatever it is that's getting in your way, let it go when you breathe out. All right, and now that we've kind of made some space, we've emptied out. Focus on your belly. And y'all have heard me before talking about finding that earth magnet that little round silver magnet that is super, super strong. Find your earth magnet and make sure that you center it somewhere right around your belly, right around your solar plexus. And once it's locked into place, you might feel like a pull towards the ground. You might feel kind of heaviness in your body. You might just feel solid in your body. Y'all have heard me say before that when mine gets in the right place, sometimes I feel a little click. If you don't feel that, that's okay. Continue to breathe through your belly while you're finding your center. And so now we've made space. We've found our center, and that magnet is holding us down to the earth. And so now we're going to focus on our inhale. And with every inhale, we're going to inhale light and love and inhale whatever the universe has for us, and knowing that what the universe has for us is in our highest good. The universe isn't sending us things to get in our way. And so take a deep inhale and fill yourself with light. And inhale that universal love. Inhale that self confidence. Fill yourself with the knowing that you were put here on purpose and you have a purpose. Just continue to breathe through your belly. And it's okay if you're still exhaling things that are weighing you down. You can exhale that and inhale the good things at the same time. Continue to fill yourself with light and make space for the things that you want. You can check in with time to time on your earth magnet and know that it is holding you to the ground as the universe sends you all this love. And as you're inhaling, notice what you feel. Notice what you're thinking too, because you might even get a sense of what your intention needs to be for the week. Notice the messages that you're getting, what you feel in your body, what you're feeling emotionally, what you're thinking as you're inhaling all this goodness and making space. All right, let's take one more deep inhale. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you feel a little more grounded. If you want to share your intention for this coming week, if you want to share the idea or the emotion or the feeling that you want to hold throughout the week, if you want to put that in the chat, feel free. If not, that's okay too. I think my intention for the week is going to be forgiveness for myself and for other people. All right. I don't see anything in the chat. So, oh, hey, Mary Elizabeth. All right. Thank you for joining. Rest. That is a good one. That's a good one. I need to do more of that this week because I didn't do enough last week. I worked too much. Self forgiveness. Yep. I'm working on that too. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. And I will see y'all next time. I'm sending you fierce love.